Welcome to What's Cookin'. I'm Norma.
I'm Deb.
And we are going to be doing some amazing fall recipes.
I love the fall.
I know you do.
I love the colors. I love the smells. I
The
love
weather.
The weather. It's finally cooler. Thank goodness.
So today I am going to be doing a yam and apple casserole that's been in our family for over 45 years. And Deb, what are you making?
I am making a pumpkin risotto. It's so good, and it might just push those potatoes to the end of the list. I think it's really good. And before we forget, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and we would love to hear from you. So
and you'll get those notices once you subscribe of any upcoming videos that we've done on YouTube.
Exactly. And all our menus will be at the end of the video. So you can get your ideas. And if you have any questions, please ask and we'll be happy to respond.
Exactly. So here we go.
Let's get started.
And we're back. So now we're going to do a yam and apple casserole. The prep time does take a little while. It's about 45 minutes to an hour, but trust me, it's worth it. The assembly is going to be very fast, as you can see. We have in front of us yam. This is a yam. It's very confusing sometimes. People aren't sure what's the difference between a yam and the sweet potato. And the sweet potato is a little lighter. You can see it's more purple. And then when you take the skin off of it, it's orange. So you've got yam, graham cracker crust that's already been like this, crumbled. Here are Deb's holding. Thank you, Deb.
Door number 1 and door number 2.
So she's showing you some brands that you can buy. If you can't find it, buy the honey made the whole and smash it up and boom, you've got it. Dark brown sugar. This is optional, the cranberries. This is optional, walnuts, or you can use pecans. This is unsalted butter. You have green apples, Jonathan, and we have the yams. And so the yams are cut like this thick. So real fast, just to demonstrate, boom, 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 like that. And you could see. So the yams, you cook them, you put the knife through it while it's in boiling water, and that's how you know it's done. Okay, so we'll leave that there, and if we need it, I'll have Deb cut that up. So here we go with the assembly. So I've sprayed it with cooking spray. And here we go with the graham cracker. And I should put some dots of butter that have been chilled. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And here we go. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe a little bit more. These are a little bit big, so cut it with your hands. Handful of brown sugar. I use dark. This is not for the faint of heart because it's fattening. I'm right here to tell you. You only do this once or twice a year, right?
Exactly.
So you go with it.
Enjoy your day.
Right. And I'm here to tell you, if you use margarine, it will not taste the same. So, okay, I've put that in there. Now we're going to start layering. And we have the yams. So we're going to lay it around. It reminds me of like doing a lasagna. So you're putting it around and around. And as I said, this is already cooked because we boiled it. And we were able to put the knife through it to feel that it gave. Okay. All right. So we've done the layers now of what you see before you. And guess what? We're going to start again. But this time I'm doing this real quick, followed by this real quick. Maybe I'll add a little bit more because this is a recipe where more is better. Do not use, I was talking about cutting corners. Don't do this with margarine. I've tried that. It doesn't come out the same. I've tried doing all sorts of healthy things. No, just go for the recipe.
It's one day, it's a little slice,
Exactly.
and it's delicious.
Exactly. Enjoy. Okay, so you've got dots of butter. Now, these are apples, green apples, Jonathan, that have been peeled and sliced, and you can see they're about maybe a ½ inch thick or so. Okay, we're going to quickly do that. You can see some of them look a little discolored. They've been sitting in water with lemon, but that's okay if it's discolored because you know what? It's going to be cooked. So, and people will not see what's inside. So here we go real quick. Okay, guess what? So we keep repeating the layers and get a deep dish casserole because this sinks through cooking, through the weight of everything. The apples will cook down. Do you have to use Jonathan? No, but that's the recipe and I've been following it for years, so don't fix what's not broken. Okay. Boop. Here we go. Get some more. Okay. Now, at this point, you can, here I like to make sure everything's covered. I have some cranberries, dried cranberries. You don't have to do it. Some people like them, some people don't. But 'tis the season and it looks pretty. Okay, a little bit of chopped walnuts or pecans. Pecans are sweeter. These happen to be pecans. Okay, now almost there. The butter helps caramelize. It calls for 2 cubes of butter. A lot. You could probably do this at 1.5. Okay, and this is going to be the last. You can see how fast it goes once everything has been cut. It can look messy because it's going to be baked. Apple in there. Okay, and then the final. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And you finish with butter. I told you this was fattening.
But tastes so
But
good.
tastes, I'm telling you, this is a hit in our family. Okay. A little more butter. Let me break this up to get it all around. Okay, so there you have it. You're going to put it in the oven, 350 for anywhere between 1 hour and 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Wow.
You'll check on it, and the knife should be able to go through easily. So that means the apples have cooked. Okay, and then if it seems like it's burning the last 10-15 minutes, cover it with foil.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll be right back. I'm going to pull out one so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here's one that has been prepared in advance and you could see. Now, when I made it, it was this high and it did sink a little because of the apples. And in this recipe, typically it's 4 large yams or 5 smaller yams, about 4 green apples, 2 cubes of butter, roughly about 12 ounces of dark brown sugar, 1 box of the graham cracker crumb, and then about 4 ounces of pecans and a handful smattering of what I like, the cranberries, but you don't have to do that.
And it smells so good. Oh my God. It just brightens up your kitchen the moment you walk in.
Smells like fall.
It does.
Okay, so
A sweet fall.
yes. Okay, we're going to see how it looks.
And look how easy it is to cut in there, like Norma talked about your apples being cooked. So they're, wow, that looks delicious. Like you said, a lasagna.
It is like a lasagna. So here it is. You see all of the yummy deliciousness in there. And bon appetit.
And we're back. And now we're going to make a pumpkin risotto that is so delicious.
Yum. I love risotto.
It's super easy. It's just a lot of ingredients, and then we're going to do most of it over on the stove. But just to go over quickly what we have. So it's butter, and this is just to melt the, we have chives and garlic that I've put in here. This is fresh thyme, sage, pumpkin. I buy it in a can. And this is the butternut squash. Go to the store and buy it there. Don't try to cut the thing. You're going to cut your fingers.
I know. It's so hard.
It is.
Yeah,
it's really
so
hard.
much easier. But if you have time on your hands, go ahead and go for it.
Yeah, but this is so much easier.
Yep.
Costco or whatever your local grocery. And then getting back to the butter, this is unsalted butter. It's a couple teaspoons that we need. And again, buying a better butter is Norma, I think we traveled to Europe, and it just, the food tastes better because they're just using a more pure butter. So we recommend whether it's the Irish butter or French butter, or just get it from
Get
Europe.
good butter.
Yes. Okay. And then Parmesan cheese, and it calls for, you can either put a dry wine, or I like to use the Moscato. I buy these little bottles. They're great for when you're cooking, because I don't want to open up a whole bottle unless you're going to be drinking it that night. So it's just easy, and I like the sweetness that it gives to this, because this is sort of sweet, and the pumpkin. And then we put in a little bit of pumpkin pie spice and some cinnamon, and of course my favorite, we have to call them porterhouse seasoning. We always promote it every show, so please support us.
She loves this stuff.
I do. And last but not least, some fresh pomegranates. So let's get started. Oh, and this is a smoked Gouda cheese ball. Now, Murray's Cheese over at Ralph's carries it, and we got the recipe, and it's super easy. You just shred the cheese, then you add a little bit of red onion to it, and a little bit of mayonnaise, and that's it. You mix it all up and you've got it. So you can either go to the store and buy it pre-made, or you can make it yourself, but I like to make it myself. So
That sounds pretty easy.
all right, let's go. So the first thing that we're going to do is you can buy your own, I'd say, low sodium chicken soup. I always make my own chicken soup, so I have it in here. I'm going to take this to the stove and start cooking it so that it starts to boil. And then I already put in the pan some butter. So we're going to start that, and let's go. As you can see, I'm melting the butter, and it's 2 tablespoons. And again, remember, all these recipes will be at the end of our show, so you'll be able to check it out. And it just takes a few minutes. Also, I'm starting to boil the soup because we're going to add it in here. So the first thing that we put in will be we're going to add the shallots, which I have here, and the garlic, which is already in here. So I'm going to start with this.
I'll take that from you.
Okay, let me just get all the shallots out. There you go. And some fresh thyme. And remember, if you're putting in thyme and you don't have fresh thyme, if you're using the, like from a jar, don't put as much. This is only like a teaspoon. The ones in the jar that aren't fresh are very potent, and you don't want to have too much. Let me hand you that. Thank you. And so we mix this together. Aren't the smells amazing?
I love the way it looks too.
Yeah.
And your shallots are diced finely.
Yes.
Perfect.
So, and again, if there's something you don't like, you can't eat, don't put it in. Like for Norma, her garlic, don't put it in, and otherwise it's good. Okay, so the next thing, as you see, this is cooking. Give it about a minute or two. And you see your soup is starting to boil. And it's fun to have a really pretty pot if you have, I was telling Norma, I got these as wedding gifts. And they're just beautiful because on your table, as you want everything to look really nice, these they're beautiful dishes. So it goes from your cooktop to your oven to your table. And it's all in one pot, which makes it really easy. So next I'm going to add the rice. Hand that to you. And so the butter gets in here. And this is a special rice. It's not just any rice. It's a risotto rice, which is Alberto. How do we say it wrong? Alberto. So anyway, you can find it at the store, and it'll become sort of translucent. It'll become a little bit more clear. And then once this happens, our soup is ready to go. So I'm going to turn that one?
Yes.
Okay.
You want it off?
Please. Yeah. So this is so great because you're just mixing everything together. So it'll be just another minute or two, and then we'll put it in. All right. So as you can see, the rice is opaque, and it's still...
Oh, it smells so good.
It's so delicious. Now we add the wine. And the reason, again, why I like to buy this, it's super easy. They come in packs of 4, and you just put this all in. And this too will absorb in the sauce. Now, I had trouble finding the Moscato, so I ended up getting pink Moscato. It still will give that sweetness to this. So now we're going to let this cook for another couple minutes, and you'll see how it absorbs. Okay, so it's been cooking for a couple minutes, and you see how creamy it's gotten, and the aromas are
Oh my God,
incredible.
incredible, yeah.
So next we add our cubed butternut squash, and we mix that in. And this will soften a lot more once we put that in the oven. Then the next thing we add to this is our pumpkin. So it's just canned pumpkin. And put this in, and this will all blend together. Thank you. And this will just become a creamy mixture. And the cubes will get very soft, like a potato.
Okay.
Very, very similar.
Does it get soft on the stovetop or in the oven?
In the oven.
Okay.
So this will finish cooking. You cook it for about 40 minutes. anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes. And it's one of those dishes you just make in advance and you're ready to go, and then it just cooks and it's so good. Then the next thing we're going to add is a little bit of cinnamon, about a teaspoon or so. I love cinnamon on things. And I also love our porterhouse seasoning. I'm going to put a little bit more of that on just to add some flavor. And then our secret ingredients is the pumpkin pie spice. It smells so good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So this just adds a little more sweetness, another like teaspoon or so to this, and then you mix it all up. Then the next thing that we're going to do is to add our soup that was boiling, and just pour it in. And then see how liquidy the mixture is. And then the next thing, the last thing that we're going to put in here, I like to mix this around and make sure all this combines. And you just keep cooking it for about another 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're going to add our cheese. So this is our cheese, and I'm just going to crumble this in. And then as this melts, it'll get a little thicker. And then the last thing that we'll do, we'll add our Parmesan cheese. This will blend in. And then we have our Parmesan cheese. And we are just about ready
Look
to
at
go.
that. It's beautiful, and it's not even cooked yet.
No,
But
no.
it looks fantastic.
But the cheese melts into this, and then the butternut squash gets really, really soft as you cook it in the oven. And then once you're done, it's so good. And then so you can use cranberries. I like to use some fresh pomegranate seeds. And then at the very end, once it's all finished, I can add a few more pomegranate seeds. And it's just delicious. And the pomegranate just gives it that nice little crisp sweetness to it.
It also is like fall colors.
Yes,
got going
yes.
Here.
So it's so good. And that's it. So, oh, I forgot the sage. So I like to put in sage now, and then I'll put in some fresh sage at the end. And you just mix this through, and it's just the yummy goodness. You can't get any easier than this.
You really can't. I make risotto, and you're slaving away on the stove,
Yeah.
stirring. This is an amazing recipe.
And the easiest, you put the top on, and let's put it in the oven, and let's see what happens. We'll be right back. And we're back. Let me just take the lid off. I can't wait.
Don't burn yourself.
Yep. And as you can see, it's beyond delicious, and it smells so good. And you just sprinkle some of your pomegranates on there, add just a tad more cheese on the top, and you have a phenomenal dish.
Would you like to add your sage?
Yes, and here's some sage. You can pre-cut it.
So pretty.
It's beautiful, and it's just all your fall colors, and you're ready to go, and it tastes so good. So here we go, and you're ready. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and
Enjoy these recipes. Again, we have the recipes available for you.
at the bottom, and
Oh, and let me bring the other one. Here we go.
so 2 fabulous side dishes, easy to prepare.
Great for the holiday season or any season, frankly. I
Yeah.
mean, you could serve this any time of the year, but your family's really going to enjoy
Yes.
it. And as you could see, took no time to do.
Yes.
So very
and be
easy.
grateful. We're grateful for one
Yes.
another,
Yes.
and grateful for you watching, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe. Please subscribe. And stay tuned. Our next one is going to be a fun one. We're going to do some more holiday
Yes.
goodies.
All right.
All right.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.